be cold and windy. The temperature will be in the mid-50s. If you're traveling with us during the summer months, well, I hope you brought your sunglasses because it will be sunny and bright, and the temperature will be in the mid-80s. On behalf of C&C Airlines and our pilot Flynn, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on board in the near future. Have a lovely afternoon here in Santorini.
Hello and welcome to Santorini, also known as the island of Thera. I'm Penny and I will be your tour guide. Today we are building a little town that's inspired of the real-life town of Ia in northern Santorini. And this little town is quite big. It's, I think, a 40 by 30 lot, but this is multiple levels. It has an art gallery and a little shop, a cafe, and multiple lodgings. There's actually 4 unique different places for your Sims to pick from if they would like to stay here. It also can operate as a cafe, or it can operate as retail, whatever you desire. But I am super excited. This is my first time using Build and Buy CC in The Sims 4. I had a blast. And if you notice, the world is slightly different. And that's because I'm using a mod, and this mod takes the world of Granite Falls and converts it into a Greek-like world called Santorini. And this mod and the build and buy, a lot of the build and buy that you see was done by the very talented Nando and Sixam CC. I will have all of this info linked in the description if you're interested. You will be able to use this build in a regular world. You do not need to have this modded world, but if you have the other CC, then you can put this lot wherever you would like in any of the worlds. But should we start our tour? Well, let's go. So the Greek island of Santorini is part of the Cyclades island chain and is located in the Aegean Sea about 120 miles or 200 kilometers southeast of the Greek mainland. The population here is about 10,000 residents. Santorini experienced one of the largest volcanic eruptions in recent history, about 3,600 years ago. And it's thought that the eruption and the tsunami that was caused by this major eruption was responsible for the loss of the Minoan civilization. Fun fact, it is rumored that Thera is the ancient site of the mythical city of Atlantis. The island wasn't inhabited for some time after this eruption. It took about 300 years, so putting it around 1200 BC, that finally the Phoenicians came and settled on this island. The eruption and the earthquakes that occurred after destroyed much of the island. And what was left was this huge sunken caldera that has now filled in with water, and it is lined with steep cliffs. And along these steep cliffs, you will see these beautiful whitewashed homes with little pops of blue and the very unique domes. One of the very unique types of homes that you will find on this island are cave homes. So these homes were built basically into the mountainside, and they were easy to build, cost efficient. Initially, they were built for the poor and inhabited by the poor. But as time has gone by, now this has become something that's been very popular with tourists. They become kind of the place to stay. Originally, these homes were built of the surrounding volcanic material, so black indigenous rock, red rock, and pumice. And of course I built one of these into this little city. I had to. So on the lowest level, there will be a cave style home. It's not gonna look exactly like it would in real life. Unfortunately, I haven't found CC that would make the ceilings in there arched and having that dome-like look. That's what you would find in these places. There's not a lot of windows. There's windows on the outside, obviously, to try to get as much light in there, but there's not a lot of natural light. And I don't know how I would feel about staying in one of these places. I think it would be fun temporarily. I don't know if I'd want to live there because the echo. The echo would be intense. So that's a little bit about the island and a little bit about the history, and now we can talk about the build. So I tried not to go completely crazy with CC in this build. I tried to limit it with the cafe, I used the Spoons pack by Harry, which, oh my gosh, it's so nice. And these display cases that came with it, I realized would have been perfect for my build I did a while ago. That was the jewelry shop. It was fun doing that without CC. And I will not be doing all CC builds, just so you know. I'm gonna mix it up, but I had so much fun downloading all the CC. It was kind of like going shopping, and it was kind of like new Sims packs coming out. So I was audibly saying like, this is so cool as I'm building. I was the only person home. I mean, Flynn and I, but yeah, I might sound a little crazy, but it was so much fun. So this pack by Harry I used in the cafe, and I used it in the art gallery, and it actually has some swatches that you can hang clothes on if you have Dream Home Decorator. So cool. Such a good idea. And then I'm also using another CC pack here. It's Little Dicka's CC pack for Rise and Grind. And all the little cute stuff that came with this, like all the mugs, the coffee. I'm so sorry. There's, like I said, I try not to go crazy in the CC. There's a decent amount, but I do not think you'll regret it if you download this stuff if you don't already have it in your game. It is so good. Like, yes, mugs. I want to be able to place mugs and not have to go into debug to get them. This is great. And then just all the little accessories. I wish that the actual Sims games came with more accessories like this. So, oh, yeah. It's all the details. All the little details that just make me so happy. Okay, like one of the little details here, the syrup pumps. I have tried to recreate those in my non-CC cafes, but it's not really possible. I've just used kind of like some juice bottles to kind of represent that. But oh, the syrup pumps just made me so happy because that's something you find in every cafe. I don't think I've ever been to a cafe that doesn't have like the flavored syrup. So essential. The art gallery that I built I would say it isn't really a gallery, it's more of a shop, but I set it up to look like a gallery where you come in and things are on display. I tried to pick a lot of items that had kind of like a Greek feel and look to them, but also I figured some lower end stuff that would be good as souvenirs. That's kind of what I was going for. So it's not going to be like the typical gallery museum. I wanted it to be kind of touristy. That's just kind of what I'm going with. And then yeah, the items of kind of those ancient Greek looking things. There are, as you would guess, archaeological sites here on Santorini. So I wanted to kind of represent that's maybe some replicas and lookalikes and yep, those little trinkets that you would take home as souvenirs from your vacation. We don't actually have that currently to take back souvenirs from anywhere. The past Sims games, we did. Sorry, I'm always bringing up the past Sims games. I've played from the very beginning of the original Sims, so I've experienced all of it. And I think in every one of those, you could bring back souvenirs. Yes, you could. Even in the original. So I don't know, maybe we'll get something like that, otherwise we kind of have to pretend, unless I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know if I'm completely forgetting about something. I don't get to play the game as often doing gameplay because I'm building all the time. Yeah, you can always let me know. Also, as you see as I go along in this build, I built this into the rocks. I was really trying to make it feel like you are in Santorini, where this was built into the rocks. And maybe it looks a little bit weird from the back. I mean, I really wish that I could build right into the landscape, but I can't. So that's the reason for all these rocks. I did not include all those on video because that took quite a lot of time. It's a lot of rocks. And some of them cost simoleons, so I did not look at the final price of this place, but it's a lot. I don't know. It's supposed to be a high-end vacation place, so expect your Sims to drop a pretty simoleon on this trip. Okay, the cave home, I tried to represent that, like I said, as best as possible. Like, I didn't have the arched domed ceilings, but in real life, these homes are very narrow and long, as you would expect, so I tried to do that as best as possible in the game. Long, narrow spaces in The Sims are always a little bit difficult. I did make it work. I think it turned out really good. It's probably a little bit wider than I would like it, just because you have to get everything to fit. And traditionally, as you would kind of expect, the living room, the kitchen are kind of near the front, bedrooms towards the back. And I think originally in like the courtyard area was the bathroom setup. Nowadays, I know things have changed. I did look into current vacation rentals there, and the bathrooms are inside. So I put the bathroom all the way in the back in this one. I figured if it was very, very well lit, you wouldn't need windows, and most of the time you're going to spend is going to be in the living room, kitchen, and that's where you want all the light. I mean, ideally, to have the bedroom all the way back in the back and not have any light would be okay, although I cannot imagine waking up in the middle of the night and it being completely pitch black, because I can't see in the dark very good and I trip over everything. I have very sensitive eyes and they don't really adjust well to the light. Yeah, I would probably injure myself so much. I'd have to have night lights everywhere. But then I also hate that. I hate sleeping with lights on. I'm a conundrum. I will also say, as we go along in this build, you may notice that I did not keep the kitchens in every single one of these rentals. I used the same cabinets and everything. The layout is slightly different in each little like apartment rental, but very repetitive. You'll see at the very end in pictures, but I cut that out so you could kind of see more of the layout of living rooms and bedrooms. And so we got, like I said, the cave rental house is on the bottom, and then we have, I think, 2 on the second level, and one of those continues up to the 3rd floor, and then there's also on the 3rd floor, there's a whole separate one. And I was very back and forth on this if I wanted to kind of make some of these be like the local residence houses, but then I figured we don't have the ability to have multiple lots all in one, so it's not very practical. So I just figured these all can be vacation lots, and then you can choose to stay in one. You can bring a ton of family and friends with you and spread out over the 4 of them. You can have this as a cafe and just come to visit when you're in this world. Like I said, I could not get the residential part of the mod to work because supposedly you're able to live in this world. I couldn't figure that out. I thought I downloaded the right one. Otherwise, yeah, you have to stay here to be able to go to the cafe, which is fine because the whole point of this is to go on a vacation. So are any of you from Greece? Have any of you been to Greece? I've been to Greece for a layover. It was like I think it was a day or 2 or something. I think it was only one night. And we tried to go to the Parthenon in Athens, which I was so excited about. So excited. And we made the mistake of taking our rental vehicle and trying to drive in downtown Athens, and it was a nightmare. So those of you that, if any of you live in Athens, I do not know how you do it. We should have got a taxi. We should have taken public transport. Like, I do not know how you guys do it. It was absolutely insane. The traffic was insane. It kept scaring me that people were on their mopeds and scooters like right next to us. In the United States, that is not legal and it's not allowed. So that scared me. I just kept thinking, like, what happens if we turn and we turn into someone, an accident? It was so scary. And then, yes, there was a lot of yelling and I assume a lot of cursing in Greek. It was so crazy. So I was so incredibly stressed out. I wasn't even driving. My husband was driving. We were both just tired and super stressed, and I didn't want the rental vehicle to get damaged because I didn't want to pay for that. So I'm like, just forget it. Just forget it. Which was like the most horrible thing for me to say. And that we didn't get to do it. It was so sad. So maybe another time. We did enjoy an amazing meal that night, and I will say the Greek people are very, very kind and hospitable. And that was something that I really enjoyed when the short time we were there. I wasn't feeling super great that night, so we were just getting food for takeout and taking it back to where we were staying. And it was going to take a really long time. So our waiter's like, oh, come sit down. And I'm like, well, it won't take that long. It was taking a while, so then we sat down. He had poured us on the house some alcohol, basically like the local fire water or moonshine. And I was thinking at first, I'm like, I'm not feeling that great. I don't know if I want this. But then I felt like I was gonna be very rude if I didn't have it. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe it'll actually make my stomach feel better, because my stomach was just kind of weird. So I did have it. I don't know if it helped. It didn't make me feel worse, thankfully, but that was a really nice experience of our dining experience. That wasn't really dining. I wish I was feeling better because the location was beautiful. It was on the water. We stayed at a place that was on the water, which, oh yeah, this was something else. This place was supposedly like 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes from the airport. It was not. I think maybe if we went in a straight line, it would have been 15 minutes. There is no straight line to get to this place, so you had to drive all the way around and up, and it was like 50 minutes. So here we're thinking for the next day to catch our flight, this is great. It's only 15 minutes from the airport. No, it was not. I was not happy about that, and it's like, how did none of the reviews say that? Who was getting there in 15 minutes? Yes, that was my very short time in Greece. I would love to go back. Oh, the food. The food's so good. I've had more Greek-inspired food in Cyprus, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day of Cyprus. Greek food is so good. Oh, I will just say, like, we actually buy feta from Greece. I've tried other local feta. It is just not as good. So we get the stuff that's actually from Greece, and what is it about feta that is just so amazing? Oh, never get tired of that. Now I'm really craving Greek food. We have a Greek restaurant that's pretty close to us, and it is absolutely amazing. It actually tastes homemade. It is so good. I could really go for that. Yeah. Okay, so our other little rentals here, I will talk about a little bit. Besides the cave home, there's one that is particularly luxurious. So a big thing that I saw in IA is these places that have private pools, and some of them come like right up to the bedroom area. So I had to do one of the rentals as that. So I figured it's the main master bedroom has a pool like right there, a lounge area, an outdoor shower, but I also made this a family friendly rental. So there are still two more bedrooms. So there's 3 bedrooms total in this place. Like I said, this place is huge. So one has a double bed, and the other room actually has 2 bunk beds, and under one is a bed for a toddler. And I did include a toddler potty, so you can bring a toddler here if you want. You can always replace out or switch out the other beds, and if you want more toddler beds, you can do that. But I just figured this could be a nice family vacation spot, and then the parents get to have a really nice luxurious room, and the kids can be on a whole different level. So that's one of them. And the other one up there is a little bit smaller, but it has a patio area that opens up to a pool. I didn't think that this pool was going to be private, so it's not private because from the front you can take a tunnel through the mountain out to the other side, and there's this nice big pool. So I figured it was community hotel pool for everyone. I really liked how that space turned out. I think that was really nice. And then on the 3rd level, there's another rental, and that one is 2 bedrooms. So we have quite a variety of different sizes for rentals. So you have the cave house, which is 1 bedroom, you have the 2 bedroom, you have the 3 bedroom, trying to give you options, and I don't know, I had so much fun. And in my head, I was seriously almost there. So I'm trying to give you guys an escape. So hopefully I'm doing a good job at that. And if you want to book your next flight, then don't forget to subscribe, because I will be continuing this series on for a while. We're going to discover fun new places and cultures. We can talk about the food and all that good stuff. So I am going to let you guys just continue to relax, enjoy Santorini, enjoy the rest of the video, and we will see you next week. Bye!